if the Uniform Civil Code talks about laws that will make gender neutral, religion neutral laws for property, marriage, divorce, inheritance, succession. Zeenat, Shaukat Ali, why should anyone oppose it irrespective? If Hindus oppose it, it's wrong. If Muslims oppose it, isn't it wrong? If anybody opposes it, isn't it wrong, ma'am? Shouldn't there be equal laws for all Indian citizens?
I think it's time now that we have to consider this problem very, very seriously and understand and remove the misunderstandings, that have crept in, that this is going to be a takeover. Instead of that, if we have to concentrate on the justice part and the constitution of which is the constitutional right of every Indian citizen, the Uniform Civil Code actually is in the best interest of religions. It is not against, it does not negate religious sentiments, but regressive dogmas wherever they are present. And that are not in keeping with harmony and justice, equity or good conscience.
Absolutely.
And that is what the Uniform Civil Code is about, and no religion. And let me tell you, as a very small student of Islam, Islam has given women many, many rights which have never been discussed out there in 75 years of our independence. We have never brought those. Triple talaq was never part of Islam. All over the world it has been changed. The khula today, it's only last year that the judges have been able to say that the woman has the complete right to divorce her husband as a man has, is also a right that I've written about in my book so many years ago.
Yes.
But the point is that these have never been implemented by the community.
It has never been implemented by the community, so the reform should come from within the community instead of this resistance that is coming. And Saira Shah Halim, even if we were to just pick up this one aspect of divorce, it was in 1791 that Olympe de Gouges, and she's a revolutionary, she was a revolutionary women's rights activist in France. In 1791, she sought equal rights for women in France and the right to divorce. She is still date-hailed as one of the world's best revolutionary feminist leaders. And ma'am, in 21st century India, in the year 2023, we have women also who are opposing the Uniform Civil Code and on religious grounds.
That is what I'm saying, Gaurav. The Constitution is directing the government to bring all communities together on matters that are currently governed by the respective personal laws. But here I am saying, where is the consensus? Because here it is very clear that the stakeholders of all communities have not been asked. That is the reason
they are being asked. The consultative process is on right now. My point is, this shouldn't the country be governed by the Constitution, Samvidhan, and not Sharia or any other religious book of any religion?
Gaurav, like again I said, it is desired, but right now we need to ask, is this enforceable at this point of time when there's so many grappling issues that surmounts the country? Because here, if you look at Article 47, it directs a state to prohibit the consumption of intoxicating drinks and alcohol.
So women's rights, you're equating women's rights as an educated Indian woman, you're equating women's rights with consumption of alcohol, ma'am.
No, Gaurav, I'm simply using it as an example that alcohol, though Article 47 clearly says, it tells the state to prohibit the consumption of drugs and alcohol, but isn't it freely available in all states of the country? I mean, are we going to go ahead and ban alcohol? So again, the thing is, what is enforceable and what is mandatory? That is the question. Is it?
But shouldn't Muslim women be seeking equal rights? Shouldn't all women be seeking equal rights is my only point.
Sanju
Verma, there are many sections of society, and as Saira Shah Halim very rightly pointed out earlier, they want to follow their personal laws. There are various others who want to follow their personal laws. They argue this is the beauty of India, unity in diversity. And that diversity, ma'am, is being steamrolled in the name of one nation, one law.
Gaurav, the most repetitive argument that I have come across from people who don't support Uniform Civil Code is the fact that, you have multitude of laws even as far as Hindus are concerned, why is it that now you need to have a codified common civil law? So I will just say this, you know, Hindus progressively over the centuries have done away with regressive laws. For instance, sati actually was first banned way back in 1829. Female infanticide, Gaurav, was banned way back in 1870 and is now punishable by Section 315 of the Indian Penal Code. Dowry was banned and made punishable under the IPC in 1961. As recently as 2001, Gaurav, Christian divorce laws were amended to make them gender neutral. Hindu succession and inheritance laws were changed in 2005 after being formed way back in 1928. My limited point is this: if Hindus, who constitute almost 80% of India's population, have had no problems doing away with and eradicating regressive civil laws, why is it that the second largest community in this country, Muslims particularly, why are some of them so averse to the idea of a common civil code? And a common civil code does not mean that plurality is getting destroyed, or that, you know, we are trying to have, the Hindu code being steamrolled across other religious minorities. That is such a myth.